Hi all, welcome to the video lecture series of Object-Oriented Programming. In this video lecture, we'll be discussing about the topic event handling in Java. First of all, we will define what an event is. An event means changing the state of an object is known as an event. For example, when we click a button, its state gets changed. Or when we drag our mouse, then the state of mouse also changes. So all those things are said to be an event. So changing the state of any object is meant as an event. And in Java we have java.awt.event package, which provides many event classes and the interfaces that are required to handle the events. Components of event handling. There are three main components for handling an event. They are, first of all, events. We have defined events just now. It is the change in state of an object, that is clicking the mouse button, releasing the mouse button, etc., or entering in a text in a text box, etc. All those are said to be an event. The second component is event source, that is which object generated the event. Is it a button? Is it a mouse button? Is it a text box? Is it a checkbox, etc.? So which object generated the event? That is known as event source. And finally, we have listeners. As the name indicates, listeners always listens to an event. So we can define a listener as an object which listens to an event. So whenever an event occurs, the listener will get a notification regarding that event. The listener will take care of the event by performing the suitable actions or methods that is mentioned. So we have to define the methods inside the listener so that when an event occurs, when the listener gets notification, it must be able to do according to the event. So we have to provide the methods inside the event listeners to handle the event. Now how these events are handled in Java. So we defined an event. We also came across the components of event handling in Java. Now we will see how these events are handled. An event is generated by a source, and when an event is generated, the source will send that event to one or more registered listeners. Here the word registered is very important because the event generated by a source will be sent to only those listeners that are registered with the source. That means even if an event is generated, it is not transmitted to all the listeners in Java. There are loads and loads of listeners in Java. So whenever an event is generated, that event notification is sent only to those listeners that are registered with the source, not to all the listeners in Java. So we have to register a listener with each source so that whenever an event occurs with respect to that source, the event will be notified, the notification will be sent to those listeners. Now once the listener receives the event, the listeners will have some methods to handle that event. So they will process the event and then it will return back to the source. And in Java we have a number of packages to handle events. They are java.util, java.awt, and of course java.awt.event. Now how to handle the events, that is what are the different steps that we have to keep in mind. Basically there are only two steps. They are, first of all, we have to implement appropriate interface in the class. In which class we are going to handle the event, in that class or that class must implement the appropriate interfaces. And secondly, we have to register the source with the listeners. Only when we register a source with the listener, only then the events generated by that source will be sent to that listener. Suppose we are clicking a button. If that action, that is clicking a button, is an event, if that event has to be handled, then we have to register some listeners with this button. Then only that button click event will be sent to that listener, and then that listener will take care of that event. So only to those listeners that are registered to an event source will be getting the notification regarding the events. That is very important. So far we discussed about events, event sources, event listeners, what all should be done in order to handle events, etc. Now we will define what is event handling. Event handling can be defined as a mechanism that controls the events and decides what should be done or what should happen if an event occurs. And this mechanism have got a code, and that is known as event handler. So whenever an event occurs, it is this event handler that gets executed. That means event handler decides what should happen if an event occurs. In Java, we follow a model named delegation event model to handle the events. So now we will define what is delegation event model and how it is working. So what is delegation event handling? This picture explains it all. As you can see, there is a source and this is the registered event listener. The word registered is very important because there are so many listeners in Java. So when this event source, when an event occurs at this source, it will send that event only to those listeners that are registered with this source. So the entire handling of event is done by the event listener. The event source does not have anything to do with. So that is known as delegation event handling. That means the source will generate an event and the source will send it to an event handler. It may be one event handler or one or more event handlers, that is event listeners. So the listeners will be waiting, will simply wait until an event occurs at a particular source. So the responsibility of the listener is once it receives an event, it must process it and return the result. That is known as delegation event handling. So here the source does not have anything to do with the event. Whenever an event occurs, the source will send that event to the listener registered with the source. The listener will take care of the remaining things. So that is known as delegation event handling. So the listener will wait until it receives an event. When the listener receives an event, then it starts processing the event and returns the result. So what is the advantage of delegation event handling? The greatest advantage is the logic that processes events is clearly separated from the user interface. So think of a form in which there are several buttons and text boxes. The user will be entering the text in the text box and will be clicking the button. And that event will be handled by, and what all things must take place when the user clicks on that button is handled by somebody else. So there's a clear separation between the logic and the user interface. That's the greatest advantage of delegation event handling. Also, the listeners must register with the source in order to receive the event notification. So the event notifications are sent only to those listeners that are registered with the particular source. For example, if you have a button and if there are 3 listeners registered with this button, then once an event occurs, with respect to this button, the notification of that event will be forwarded to only those 3 listeners, not to the entire listener family. So the basic idea is we can limit the listeners that want to process the event. So notifications are sent only to those listeners that are interested to handle the event. The key participants of delegation event handling are, first of all, source. Without a source, an event will not be generated. So a source is an object on which event occurs. Say a button, text box or checkbox or radio button. All these are examples of sources. So source is responsible for providing information of the event occurred, because it is from this source we are sending the event notification to the listener. So source is responsible for providing all the information regarding the event. And in Java we have classes in order to implement source. The second key participant is listener, because the event notifications are sent to the registered listeners. So the listeners are also known as event handler, because listeners are the objects, or listeners are responsible for handling the events once it occurs. So that is why it is also known as event handlers. What all will happen when an event occurs, or what are the different steps that are involved in handling an event? First of all, everything starts with an event generation. So in this example, we'll consider a button, and the user clicks the button, and at that point an event is generated. Now the object of the concerned event class is created. So if the button click is the event, so the class related to that button click event, the object of that class will be created, and information about the source and the event will be stored inside that object. Okay, so the first step is generation of event. Generating an event means we have to change the state of any object. So in this example, we are considering button as the object. So button click, when the user clicks on a button, the state of that object gets changed. That means an event is generated. When an event is generated, the class corresponding to that event creates an object, and all the information regarding that event will be populated inside that object. This event object, which contains all the event information, is forwarded to the method of registered listener class. So the listeners are waiting for an event. So this event object that gets populated in the second step will be forwarded to the method of the registered listener class. Now inside the listener class, the corresponding method will get executed and it will return back the result. So this is how an event gets handled. A source must register listeners in order for the listeners to receive notifications. This is very important. We have been saying this several times. Only those listeners that are registered with the source will get the event notification. And for each type of event, there is a registration method. By using that registration method, we can register an event with the listener. So the general format of that method is public void add type listener, and so the name of the method is type add type listener, and there exists one parameter, that is type listener el. In this general format, type is the name of the event. If it is a button click or mouse click, or all those are events. So type refers to the name of the event, and the parameter el is a reference to the event listener. Which listener we are going to register with this source? The corresponding listener reference is the parameter of this registration method. When an event occurs, the notifications are sent only to those listeners that are registered. That is very important. Suppose we have 10 listeners all together, but only 5 among them are registered with the source. Then only those 5 listeners will get the event notification. This process is known as multicasting of an event. That is, sending the event notification to those listeners which are registered with the source. That process is known as multicasting. These are some of the event classes and interfaces in Java. So event classes, action event, the corresponding methods that handle the events corresponding to action event class is included inside the action listener interface. So the event classes and listener interface are actually easy to learn because the name of the event classes and the listener interface are similar. Action event, corresponding to action event, we have action listener. Corresponding to mouse event, we have mouse listener. Corresponding to key event, we have key listener. So these are the classes, and we can say these are the sources, and these are the corresponding listeners. So when a particular event occurs here, the corresponding actions will be taken by the listeners respectively. So we can see the description here. Action event are generated when a button is pressed, or a menu item is selected, or a list item is double clicked. Similarly, mouse event is generated when a mouse is dragged or moved or clicked or pressed or released, etc. So corresponding to each of these event classes, we have a corresponding description. You have to learn that because we have to know which event will be generated when an event occurs, or which event class we have to deal with in our program. For understanding that, we must know the descriptions of each of these classes, and also we must learn the corresponding listener interfaces also. For each event class, there is a corresponding listener interface. Some more event classes in Java and their corresponding descriptions and the listener interfaces. And the steps that we have to follow into handle events. First of all, we have to implement the appropriate interface and we have to register the component with the listener. We have seen these two steps before. Just to remind you, that is why I have included that points in this slide also. This is the list of sources, that is the objects that creates events or that generates events. We have button, checkbox, choice, list, menu item, scroll bar, text components, window. All these are different sources that generate events. You might have heard about all of these things because these are the most commonly appearing things on a form that we usually fill online and all. The listener interfaces and the description about each of those interfaces. As you can see, action listener, it defines the methods to receive action events. Similarly, we have key listener. It defines 3 methods to recognize when a key is pressed, released or typed. Similarly, we have mouse listener, mouse motion listener, mouse wheel listener. So for all kinds of events, we have corresponding listener interfaces. The listener interface, as we know the definition of an interface is a collection of methods. So all these interfaces are collection of methods which can be used to handle the corresponding. An example that shows the event handling. So we have to import java.awt.star and java.aw.event.star because the event handling mechanisms are included in those two packages. And here frame is used for creating this frame. So all those classes which extends the frame class of Java can be considered as a frame itself. So here a event is actually a frame. So if you want to get the output as a frame, we need to extend the frame class of Java and see the listener interface that we have implemented in this class, or the listener interface that is implemented by this class. It is action listener. So action listener is capable of handling events like when the button is pressed, etc. So as we can see here, we have a text field. Text field is something like this, our text box. So for creating a text box in our form, we have to use the text field class of Java. So TF is the object name and we are creating a new text field. So when we execute this line of code, a new text field will be created, and that created text field has to be added to the frame. For that, we have to call the method add of TF. So when we call this method add of TF, the text field created here will be added to the frame. Similarly, for creating button, we have a button class in Java. Button b equal to new button, and here we are passing one parameter so that text will be appearing on the button on the form. So this line will create a button, but that button needs to be added to the frame. For that, we have to call again add b. So here add is a method that we use to add components to the form. So add of b means we are adding b. What is b? B is a button. Add TF means we are adding TF. What is TF? TF is a text field. So when these two lines are executed, the text field and button gets added to the frame. And b.setBounds. B is a button and we have to mention the dimensions. What is the size and its length and width of the button, as well as where this button must be placed inside this form. So these first two parameters are actually the XY coordinates, the location at which the button has to be appeared. And the third and fourth parameters are actually the length and width of the parameter. Sorry, length and width of the button. Okay. And set size means we have to set the size of this frame. This frame is 300 by 300. Then set visible true. Set layout null means there is no need to place this frame. This frame can be placed anywhere on the screen. Then set visible means we have to view the frame. If this parameter is false, when we run this program, this frame will not be displayed. So if the frame has to be displayed, here the parameter must be true. So all those things are regarding the design of the form, but the main point we have to consider is how to handle the events. So the basic idea of this program is whenever the user clicks on this button, the text welcome must be displayed in the text field. For that, first of all, we have to add the listener. We have to register the listener with the source. Here B, our button, is the source. For registering the listener with this source, we have to call the method add type listener. So here type listener is action listener. So b.add action listener. That means action listener will be registered with this button B. And for this action listener interface, there is a method named action performed that is automatically called when an event occurs. So we have to write that action performed method here and see the action event class object. So this method is inside action listener interface, and for that this method will be handling the events related to action event. So that is why we are giving the parameters action event. So generally, when we click on this button, an event is generated. Since we have registered action listener, that event is sent to this action listener. Inside action listener, we have a method named action performed. That method will take care of what has to be done when this event occurs. Here we have mentioned what we have to do. We have to write we have mentioned here it as tf.setTextWelcome. tf is our text field. So we are asking the action performed method to set the text of our text field as welcome. So when we click on this button, the content will be displayed. The welcome will be displayed inside the text box. That will be the output of this program. So here we have registered the action listener with our source button, and we have used the action performed method that comes inside the action listener interface to perform the action corresponding to the button click event. I hope you understood. I hope you got a rough idea about. We shall conclude now. So in this video lecture we discussed about event handling in Java. We came across delegation event model. We discussed about event sources, listeners and listener interfaces. We saw one simple example of button click event and how it is handled. It is all in this video lecture. Thank you so much.